Hi everyone. Welcome to MAT 1033 Online. I am Mrs. Hasenauer and I am going to lead you through this course. It is okay to call me Mrs. H if you would like. Right, this is the homepage of our course and it's always a good idea to check in here. I like to use the announcement button and you do have one sitting there, which will open in a minute. Also here you have course messages. This is a good place to communicate. It is private. You can send something to me. I can send something to you. You can also send a course message to each other. Right, so let's open the announcement. And so this just gives you a list of things that you need to do at the beginning of the course. So, of course, first of all, review your syllabus and your schedule of activities. From the left toolbar, syllabus, schedule of activities. You can also access those through the Start Here menu. We'll go ahead and go through your syllabus. It's a good idea to print these out if you have a printer. At least I would print out the schedule of activities. If you don't have a printer, you might save it on your desktop somewhere where you can see it easily so you know the schedule. All right, let's go to the syllabus. And first you have information about me, how to find me. So I am Mrs. Hasenauer. This is a new phone number for me. I do not have the voicemail set up. I will work on that this week. Email is a great way to find me. I can get your message and I will reply to you. My office is in Sebastian in the historical elementary school that's on Main Street. There are not room numbers. I am on the first floor on the west end of the building, back behind the little ASC. Right, let's talk about what you need for the course. First of all, for your software, you need a MyMathLab access code. Make sure it is MyMathLab. Right, not MathXL and not the Connect. Right, it has to be MyMathLab. You have some choices of how you can get this code. The least expensive way, if you are able to use a credit card, is to log into it through our shell, through the Pearson tab, and then purchase from them directly. But that would require a credit card. If you're using scholarship or one of the grants and you have to use our bookstore, you have choices. You can get the textbook wrapped with an access code, or you can just purchase a MyMathLab code. There is a 14-day free trial of the software that you can use. So you can log in right away, and then when you get your code, you can just put it in. Or if you have your code right away, put it in. Do not plan to finish the course in 14 days. Your tests are built in MyMathLab. You're not going to be ready for a test in 14 days, right? I have had some students do this, so that's not an option. You need to be able to access MyMathLab later. Right. Let's go ahead and down. And it is the Intermediate Algebra by Elaine Martin Gay. If you get just the software access code, you will have a full ebook. So you will have access to everything. So the text is only if you really want to see a printed page. Right, our course description, I will let you read that at your leisure. These are the topics that you're going to cover. Basically, it includes like an Algebra 1, Algebra 2. Right. Outcome of the course. Students will be able to demonstrate mathematical reasoning through problem solving. Right, our objectives, these are the topics we're going to go through. Preparedness. The student is expected to stay current with assigned homework in MyMathLab and spend a minimum of 15 hours per week. You will have to watch some videos. This is how you're going to learn the material. You do not want to go straight to homework. Watch the short videos. It will save you so much time. Then go to the homework. All right, so watching the videos, studying, working problems. All right, your materials that you need, of course, a positive attitude. Yes, you can do this. All right. You need access to a computer. Don't try to run all these through your phone. The terminology and the symbols, they're too difficult. You need a computer. So access to the computer, and you need internet. Right. Of course, notebooks and pencils, and a scientific calculator. Just a quick note here. The notebook. This is important as you work problems in the My Math Lab homework. I would make it a practice to write the problem down and do my steps. That way, if you get stuck, you can go to the ASC lab and you can get some help, and you will have something to show them. Also, you can look back at them later. Rather than just using a lot of scrap paper, it's a good idea to organize with a notebook. Also, you may want to print out some note templates, which I have for you, or just take notes as you watch the videos. All right, so you will be doing some note taking even though you're not in class. All right, calculator. A scientific calculator is allowed for this class. I would recommend that you get one. You have some choices with the calculators. I have a few videos in here for the TI-30. You can have a look at those. I would not pay more than $20 for a calculator. If you do, it's going to be too fancy. There are a couple of other TIs that will do a little bit more, like the TI-36 Pro will do a lot more. And you can find some videos for it if you want to look for them on the internet. There are quite a few, but I put some for the TI-30s. You will be allowed to take your calculator into a test. You will not be able to use the cell phone when you take your test, and you want to be friends with your calculator. So don't practice with your cell phone. Get a calculator and be comfortable with it. All right, and so we have 5 tests altogether, 4 tests and a final. And this is the grading percentages. So your 5 tests are 70% your homework, 14% your quizzes, 10%, and then a attendance participation. So for online, I need to see that you're active in the course. If you go a long time or you're behind in My Math Lab, you have not logged in for a week, you're probably going to lose a point there. If you are going to withdraw from the course, you would need to do that by October 29th. Your tests for the course are in an IRSC testing center or an approved facility. So if you're out of the area, you want to be sure to look under the Start Here menu at the bottom. I'll mention that when we get there. But you have to get that set up. You do not take your tests online at home. You have to come in to a testing center. There are 5 tests. I will actually allow you to take 1 at home, test 4. The reason I do that is because it's so close to the time for the exam that I would rather not have you come in 2 times. All right, so you will need to plan to go to a testing center 4 times during this term. I have already made the schedule. You'll have a 3-day time block that you can go in for the tests. You have to complete the test before the testing center closes. They will kick you out. An hour and a half is usually sufficient to do any of these tests. I don't put a time limit except for your one that's at take home. So if you want a little more time, just go a little earlier in the day so you have enough time. All right, if you were to miss a test, I will substitute the final exam for that test. If you are there for all the tests, then if your final is higher than your lowest test, it will substitute. So you can get out of 1 test score. Right, and your My Math Lab, you will have homeworks and you will have quizzes. I'll talk a little bit more about the schedule when we get there. I try to not put the dates too early. I let them go up to the first test, but I will also give you suggested dates. Quizzes you need to take before they are due. Okay. And at the end of the term, we will drop 2 homeworks and 2 quizzes. Right, something very important. The first week, I need to see that you log into Blackboard, that you take the Start Here quiz, that you post your self-introduction, and that you take this diagnostic test. The diagnostic test is in the Pearson software. It does not count as a test, but we need a measure of where you are when you start. All right, and you will do this at home. Also, after the first couple of homeworks, it blocks you if you do not take this diagnostic test. So you need to do this. You need to do those things to be considered present. If someone does not log into the course, does not get these things done by the first week, I can withdraw you. You do not get a refund, and it uses up one of your attempts. We have to do this report in order for the college to be allowed any financial aid from the government. So this is an important date, and all faculty members turn in a WN for non-attendance. So make sure you do these things right away. Right, and this just talks about how I would get an attendance participation score. Honestly, I would not put that in. That's a freebie. But we kind of are trying to keep all the courses the same. So this is in the 1033s, 6%. That's over half a letter grade. That's free. Just you have to get in and do some work. Okay. Right. And this just talks about this would be a withdrawal where you withdraw yourself. An instructor withdrawal, this is special, and I have listed the conditions where I would do an instructor withdrawal for you. You would need to send me an email that you wanted that. This would be after October 29th. You have to be current with all your assignments, tests, and attendance, and either something bad has happened, which we hope doesn't, or if you are attending the whole time, you're staying caught up on everything, and just you can't get that C at the end, but you wanted to keep trying, I would then also issue an instructor withdrawal if you requested it. Right. Incompletes are only given when a catastrophic event happens, and you have to be passing the course and almost finished. Right. But if you are in the hospital, you just can't get to the final exam. Right. That would be a situation where we would do an incomplete, and then you would take it when you're out. Right. Cheating, you have to do your own work. Okay. Extra help, these are some resources for you. Just because you're in an online class doesn't mean you can't use some resources for some help. The academic support centers on all campuses, free tutoring. When you go to the university, you have to pay for tutoring. So take advantage of this great resource. I am a great resource for you. Ask me questions. I will respond on the discussion board, and I will also reply to your emails. I'll be happy to see you if you can come to me. Right. And if you do have a disability, you probably already know about this, but this gives the information where you can contact our Student Disability Services. We do not discriminate or harass. Well, I harass you a little bit, but only about your schoolwork. Right. Our department chair is Dr. Chin Kui. If you have a problem with the course, please talk to me first. I will do my very best to work things out with you. But if not, you can call our department chair. This is just the table of hours at the academic support centers. So the ASCs for each campus. We do have some Saturday and Sunday hours. This is Mueller campus, and main campus has the Sunday afternoon hours. Right, so please take advantage of those. When you go, make sure you sign in and click math so we know who is there. Right. Assessment center locations. So these are our assessment centers, the room numbers. You will just go in your time block. You do not need to make an appointment. But they will close at these times, and notice Fridays they close early. Fridays they close at 2:30, which means you have to be finished by 2:30 and have your test submitted. So keep that in mind if you're planning to go on a Friday. They close earlier, and you will need to bring a photo ID to the test. Right, I want to go back and go through our schedule a little bit. I will use the back arrow. And schedule of activities. Right, so this is our material in the middle. On the left, date covered. Right, these are suggested dates. You can shift these slightly to fit your schedule and your life. Don't shift them much, because the tests, which is in bold, you have a 3-day time range there, and if it crosses a weekend, the lab's not open on weekends, all right? It would, but I left it just the same notation, right? So I give you a 3-day time block. For the test, you have to be ready for the test by then, which means all your homework, all your quizzes, and your reviews should be done before you go to the test. But you can shift these slightly. If you don't get this homework 2 done by 8:24, that's okay. Do it on 8:25. So those you can shift slightly. Due dates. Over here, for the diagnostic, we want it done the first week. So it has a due date on it. I did not put due dates in the system for these. All of your homework and your quizzes will be due on this date, right? So everything above here will be due on 9/14, but don't let it pile up to then. Do it close to the date where it's covered, right? You won't have time if you wait. That's not a good learning strategy, right? For these reviews are optional. They are in my math lab. I will offer bonus points added onto your test if you do them. Right, so I do have a deadline on them, and they are also due at this time. I won't take them after that because they're bonus. Okay, so everything above this blue line right here is going to be due by 9/14, except that diagnostic is due earlier. Right, and then when you go into the next group, right, I do start up new work on the same day you have a test here if you're taking your test on 9/14, because some people might take their test on 9/12. You can always work ahead. You don't have to wait for these dates, right? So you can work ahead. And then your test 2 material, all of this would be due by October 2nd. Right. You need to have it done before you go to take your test. Right. I did switch the order. You'll notice these are out of order here. I really think it's a lot easier if you do 7.2 after you've worked with radicals a little bit. So I move it down. But there's our schedule. And I just noted here the same things I said. Dates in column 2 are suggested dates. When to work, you can shift them slightly. The bold dates in column 2, those are your test ranges. So those we're not going to move. Right. So this is just a 1-page item. This is the item I would print out. Right, so back to our announcements. So we have reviewed the syllabus and the schedule of activities. I am making this video right now, so you will have a link here when you get ready to look at this. We'll go under the Start Here tab. And again, we have a list of things to do here. So this just is kind of a checklist, so you can make sure you get everything done. All right, this is just a link to your syllabus. We've already looked at it. This is your schedule. Instructor information, you can look at that. That is about me and how to find me. Right, student introduction. This is where you're going to post something about yourself. If you are taking other online classes, you will notice that I cut this down. You do not have to put 2 or 3 paragraphs. I'm happy with 2 or 3 sentences. If you want to put more, you can. Okay. Right, you just need to do this. It's part of our attendance thing. Okay, right below that is the Start Here quiz. This quiz, you have to get 80% or higher on it. It does not count as a grade, but it controls your Blackboard content. So it is a Blackboard quiz. If you're taking multiple online classes, it's the same. So it's about how to work in Blackboard, and you can take it more than one time. Right? So you want to be able to work in Blackboard. Right, and I want to scroll on down. If you are taking your exams, if you don't live in the area and you need to take them at a different location, this is very important. We're under the Start Here menu, non-IRSC testing centers. You have to set this up, and you need to get in touch with either Denise Malcolm, here is her college email, or Stephen Daniello, and this is the information you will need to let them know. If you cannot find a place close to you, you can get in touch with them. They have worked with several other schools, so they might know one. But it is your responsibility to set that up. Right, so a couple of things in there to do. Remember, your introduction and your Start Here quiz. Right, let's see. Let's go on down the left toolbar. And this is just another place to get to course messages. You can click here to send one. This is another place to get to student introduction. Ask the instructor. Remember, a discussion board is public. Everybody can see what you put here. So don't put a private email about your grades under Ask the Instructor. All right. But you can ask me homework questions. These are some from former students. They asked me about questions. There's a review for that diagnostic if you want to look at it earlier. And this one is just, here's number 50 from the diagnostic review. This is my response. Right, and there's a video, and here I can put up an answer sheet like this for you. So that is how I can help you sometimes. If you ask questions there, you can also answer each other there. No problem with that. Right, let's go to Pearson a little bit. And this is your My Math Lab software. Right, and so we are in student view. You have a couple of links here. The first one will be all your assignments, and this is where you will also register. And because I'm already in it, probably is not going to ask me about that, but that would be where you register, right? So this is a list of all the assignments. They should be in order. These videos are optional to you. The videos I have in Blackboard actually match your content better. So these you don't have to do. They're in here. They're extra resources. They're good, right? The second link... Right. This one is how you can also get to the ebook with Pearson. I won't click the ebook because it takes it a few minutes to load, but you can go there. Right. So that is Pearson. Hopefully you've worked on some My Math Lab before. If not, get in there. And there are some good little videos. Let me go back for 1 minute and just point out your diagnostic. This is how to enter answers. This is your diagnostic. All right. So you want to take that right away. There is a review for it, and I believe it's under the module tabs. Right. So for your content, so you've done these things to get started. Your module 0 has review problems for the diagnostic. So if you want to look at those, you can. Here are some more things. Just for review, you can look in these folders. I would not worry too much about it. I would just go take it. Right. It doesn't count as a grade, but we do need a measure for you there. But if you're worried, you can certainly have a look and see what is it like. Right, let's go to Module 1. I just want to show you how the course works. Right, so we are in Module 1. We're ready to do work. What you should do first is come here. If you would like to print out these note templates, they're going to match your videos. And this one is 2.1 through 2.5. You can print them out or you can just take notes, whichever you prefer. If you don't have a printer, just take notes. All right, but they're here if you want them. So we'll go back to Module 1. Videos. These are very important. Right? And this is how you're going to learn the content. Right? They're going to run through YouTube. They should work on your devices. And there you go. And that is Mrs. H. Right, so I would watch the videos for each section before going to the homework. Sometimes I will have extra videos. These don't match your note templates, but if you get stuck on a topic and you want some more, I usually put some more videos down here. Right, let's go to Module 2 for just a minute. And this one should have our review. So we finished everything. We're getting ready for our first test. Right. There are 2 reviews for you. Right. One is a paper review that you can print out, and these are videos that match. So I just put, and on the review itself, there are answers at the end. So here's a review. There are answers at the end. Do it, check yourself, and then just watch the videos that you need. You don't have to watch all those videos. Right, but here they are. This one has 1 through 9, 10 through 15. Right, so videos to match your test review. Right, the other review is in Pearson. It is the one I give you extra points for. Right, so remember, 2 reviews to help you get ready for your tests. And these are all in your module tab. So your videos you get to through your module tabs, and also the note templates, and then your reviews. Just some other things on this toolbar. Smart Thinking, feel free to use that. It's an outside source. It is free to IRSC students. It is tutoring online. You can see if you like it. It doesn't cost you anything. Do not give them a credit card if it says anything about that, because it's supposed to be free. Okay, this is where you can see your grades. You have to be a little cautious with the My Math Lab gradebook, because I don't fill in the zeros if you don't do your homework until later. So if it has an 89% and you've only done 2 out of 10 homeworks, you don't really have an 89%. So just be a little cautious with the My Math Lab gradebook. And I think that's all. I hope you have a great term. This should definitely get you started. I look forward to seeing you signed into the class. And please feel free to communicate with me. If you have questions, about the course or about problems, put them on the discussion board. I'll write them out, take a picture, and post it for you. All right. Best of luck to you.